blockchain technology company on a mission to expand loyalty and workplace engagement programs for millions of people around the world. Prior to Kigo, Peter built and operated technology startups in the wellness, rewards, and digital marketing sectors.
Thanks again to Brandon, to Ange, to Minnesota Blockchain for giving me a chance to be a part of the conversation. Really cool to see that we've got this ecosystem developing here in the Twin Cities. And if this is what the room looks like in the bear market, I'm excited to see what it looks like, hopefully next year, knock on wood. One thing I thought was interesting on Eric's talk that reminded me, Ripple and I were out in, Ripple heads up marketing for Kigo. We've also got Justin, our CTO, here as well. We were heading back to the airport after Consensus in Austin, and we happened to share a cab with the guy who bought the first ever house as an NFT. Really interesting. They actually structured it, so they structured it as a Wyoming trust company, I believe, and the owner on the trust company was actually a blockchain address. And so we're in this cab, and he proceeds to pull out his wallet and shows us the ownership of his house as an NFT. Just kind of cool. But we're not here to talk about that. I am here to talk about the intersection of digital assets and the world of loyalty programs. So real quick, just on a little bit about who we are. So as Brandon shared, kind of a unique story in how Kigo came about. About 2 years ago, Justin and I joined this company, Agio, based here in St. Paul. Nobody's heard of them, but they're actually in the background of north of 70 plus Fortune 500 brand loyalty and engagement programs as the technology operator and the rewards fulfillment provider behind these programs. And David, the CEO, who we'd built a relationship with, came to us and said, hey, our clients are asking us about the idea of redeeming loyalty currencies for crypto. We're thinking about, we took a look at the market, we're thinking about building our own venture around this. Would you be interested in coming in and building it out? So it took about 2 seconds to say, hell yes, let's go do it. That company was called Heaps, an Agio subsidiary. And where we started in redeeming rewards for leading cryptocurrencies has evolved very dramatically from there. Fast forward a year and a half, we've continued to have brands reach out interested in an entry point into the digital asset sector, and increasingly, seeing ways that consumers want to interact with digital assets. And so, long story that I'm trying to keep short. We ended up spinning out of Agio, buying up an NFT company started by the former head of global product at Starbucks. A lot of rich history in loyalty and digital product to merge the two companies together and form Kigo. And so our mission is to help organizations elevate their existing loyalty programs and workplace engagement programs using the blockchain. And so that is what I'm here to talk about. I think it would be helpful just to tee up the conversation today by just pointing to the sheer magnitude of the loyalty industry today. And it's really because over many, many years, this model has been proven out that loyalty and engagement programs increase the lifetime value of customer relationships, and they increase employee retention, which is increasingly becoming important in a post-COVID world. The fact of the matter is, almost $50 billion of loyalty currencies are issued on an annual basis, which is just crazy. And where we see the industry heading, you think about the fact that we as people, as consumers, are in the driver's seat more than ever before. We expect things at our fingertips. We have more influence, more choice, and our expectations of brands have increased beyond measure in the past few years alone. The second piece that really plays into this is the fact that, especially in the world of loyalty and engagement, the way we exchange value is increasingly digital in just about every way. And then the last piece is that we like to say we believe the future is open. And what we mean by that is the fact of the matter is, with the amount of value that consumers expect from the brands they engage with, the only way that brands are going to be able to compete is by delivering on the promises or delivering on the things that consumers expect. Everybody except for Amazon needs to band together to win over consumers' wallets. And so we're strong believers that blockchain is an enabler for the next generation of loyalty, and we call that open loyalty. And I'll explain what that means. And so there's a few pillars of open loyalty, the first of which is ownable digital assets. And these are these imaginary things that have become real that allow you to deliver more personalization, deliver ownership, and deliver new and dynamic value to consumers. And I'll give you some examples of what I mean by that in a moment here. The second piece, which we're really excited about, is this idea of sharing. Historically, loyalty programs have been one-to-one with a brand. They've been closed ecosystems. Open loyalty is all about this idea of making experiences with brands more open and shareable, which invites more people to participate and grows communities organically. And then the third piece is cross-brand collaboration. And the interesting thing here, and I'll share an anecdote. So Ben Straley, who came over to co-lead Kigo, came for many years at Starbucks leading digital product, and he helped lead the initiative. It was a loyalty partnership between Starbucks and Spotify years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago. And the concept was very simple. Let's allow Starbucks members to redeem their stars for Spotify membership. And it was many months of planning, of strategy, tons of development hours, a huge technical lift to actually make that partnership possible. And the exciting thing about the blockchain is it makes these partnerships way more possible by removing the technical hurdles to facilitate. And I'll explain what that means too in a moment here, but it's really exciting to really, we've had a chance to drill down into what makes this technology unique in this sector. And excited to share some of what we're seeing in the industry as well as some of the use cases we think are meaningful. Before I do that, so when you ask somebody about crypto and NFTs, most people are going to point to Bored Apes that they've seen skyrocket in price and fall in price. They're going to talk about overpriced JPEGs. What we're trying to do is shift the narrative and really look at the technology behind an NFT that really makes it so unique. And part of what we're doing too is trying to shift the narrative around, calling these NFTs what they are. Instead of an NFT, it's a collectible. It's an access pass. It's a membership in digital form. And the cool thing about NFTs is that they can represent ownership. They can represent digital keys that can unlock access to all types of experiences. They can represent your membership or status with an organization that you own. They can represent your achievements. And then the other thing that's cool is they can be personalized. They can be one of a kind. They can actually be shareable and tradable, again, playing into that idea of shareable rewards. They can be gamified and portable across brands, which is really interesting in this world of open loyalty. And then the last thing is they can be responsive to events. In other words, they can evolve over time. And so, where we see a huge opportunity as an entry point for brands and for individuals is through points redemption. You've got $16 billion in unredeemed points floating out there every year. You've also, on the flip side, got a good amount of people that are interested in dipping their toes into the water, into the world of digital assets, and brands that are looking to do the same. And so where we're starting is by expanding what people can do with their points. So all of you, I'm sure, are part of a credit card program. You're racking up some points. Where we're seeing brands wanting to start is through points redemption because it's an easy entry point in for them. It's a way to energize their program and give people more ways to use their points. And so what we're doing is we're building out what we hope to be the largest aggregated rewards hub for digital assets, where you can take your points, you can redeem for a digital baseball card, a Coachella access pass, maybe some digital content from your favorite Netflix series, all in a curated and brand-safe marketplace. And I think the thing that I'm personally even more excited about is in talking with a ton of brands and a ton of people over the past 2 years, one of the areas we identified opportunities in, brands have all sorts of digital content and high-value offers that they want to deliver to their members. NFTs are actually an ideal vehicle to deliver those experiences because you think about the fact that an NFT can be one of one verifiably. It allows a brand to issue a type of offer that's way higher value, more exclusive, where they don't have to worry about it being replicated across the internet because it's truly one of one. You've also got brands that have tickets to, digital tickets to experiences, exclusive experiences. We see this as the vehicle for them to be able to release that content and allow people to redeem. And then after they redeem, they can trade it, they can share it, they can collect it, they can join a community around these assets. And so it's a new and exciting way for people to actually use their points. So the second concept that we think is really interesting, and I think is really the big idea, is this idea of using the blockchain to make every reward shareable. And what I mean by that is, we've got an example of AirPods up here. I'm going to give maybe a more relevant example, and that's this. Imagine you're a gold status member with your airline, and you earn a free seat upgrade. Today, you and only you can use that benefit. In blockchain world, you can actually share that benefit with a friend or with a family member or somebody you care about, extending the benefits you've earned to somebody else. And the cool thing about it is that for the airline, this becomes a new tool for customer acquisition because it's verifiable and transferable on the blockchain. That airline knows who it was shared to and has now expanded their community to somebody new that they didn't have previously. And me as a member, I love it because I might not have used that free seat upgrade, and I got to flex to my family member, my friend, that I earned and granted them a free seat on their flight. So it's a really cool experience. And so our thinking is that Agio today, that we have access to, processes millions and millions of redemptions on an annual basis across gift cards and merchandise and experiences, travel, social good, charity. All of these things could give all of these types of categories give people the option to, at the point of redemption, either claim it or share it by us essentially wrapping the reward in a digital asset and being able to deliver it to anybody. And so we are really excited about that. Again, it turns what could be dormant rewards into memorable moments for people, gives them more ways to share the rewards they've earned with the people they care about. And then for brands, it's a great way for them to grow their community organically in a world where customer acquisition costs are rising, where platforms are clamping down on cookies and making it more difficult for brands to track attribution. And it allows them to identify the people that are sharing on behalf of their brand. And so this is truly one of those win-win scenarios where we think that, our hope is that we can bring this technology to not only Agio, but many of the rewards platforms out there today to enable people to share the rewards that they're earning with their brands. So that's basically what we're doing at Kigo. I'm going to give a shameless plug here. We are hiring in business development, project management, and a few other roles. So if anybody's interested, please come talk to us. But again, thanks to Brandon and thanks to Ange and Minnesota Blockchain for allowing me to be part of the conversation.